This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason
How you
Glick.
doing, Jason Glick?
I'm good, John. Yourself?
Not too bad.
Sweet.
What do you have in store for us this time?
Okay, well, it's another return to that endless well of stories and podcast fodder that is the X-Men. Now, it's like everyone knows I'm hardcore into X-Men. It's like I've done enough podcasts about them over the years, and I've been a devout follower of everything that's been going on with them. It's like, it's like their most recent run that we've got has been one of my favorite writers, Brian Michael Bendis. Now, Bendis has done a lot of good stuff over the years, and I'm one of the people who will actually vouch for his Avengers run. But it's like if you've been getting the vibe that I'm kind of like off the train with his X-Men run over the last couple of reviews I've written regarding his respective volumes for Uncanny and All New. Well, you'd be right because let's just say that the bottom line is that his X-Men work, lots of good moments throughout it. The overall storytelling, not so much. But let's go back to the beginning because basically this Bendis picked up his X-Men run in the wake of the Avengers vs. X-Men crossover, which found Scott, which basically had Scott Summers branded as an outlaw for his after he was possessed and went full on Dark Phoenix and killed Professor X in the process. And while he was all prepared to be martyred for his sins, it was eventually revealed to him that he still has work to do out here. And it's like, and in this, and as Bendis phrases it in the first one of Uncanny, this means starting a mutant revolution, basically gathering up the new mutants that have appeared with the it's like in the wake of the Phoenix's latest appearance. It's like, and like bringing them over to his cause. Now, Beast has had his issues with Scott's approach to everything for a good long while now, and it's like this is stretching back even before the Avengers vs. X-Men fracas, but so he realizes that, and so Bendis starts off his other series, all new X-Men, with Beast facing potential death from the latest instance of his secondary mutation, and also realizing that, hey, you know what? Maybe this offhand comment by Bobby Drake about if only the X-Men, the young X-Men, the old X-Men could see the young X-Men and see what they've become, maybe that would shock Scott Summers out of things. And Beast goes, yeah, you know what, Bobby? That's probably the first thing I've ever said that you said that I fully agree with. And God knows that when you're taking stray comments by Iceman to heart, you've well and truly lost your way here. But we'll come back to that later. So basically, Beast goes back in time, brings the original 5 X-Men, young himself, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Iceman, and Angel back to the present in the hopes that Scott will see this, realize that his approach is wrong, and avert a potential mutant genocide. Okay, now the thing is with this all new X-Men, there is a very definite end game for this concept of bringing the young X-Men back forward in time, and that would be eventually they accomplish their goal. The world is like the future is made better, and then they go back and Xavier mind wipes them, and the past continues on as it is. Everyone's happy. That's not what Bendis is doing here. Bendis essentially with bringing these young X-Men into the future, his ultimate end game, as we see at the end of his run, is that there is no ongoing story. There's no closed story he's telling here in the 41 issues that his run on the series ran. No, he basically feels that hey, bringing these young X-Men to the future, well, I'm just adding new versions of the characters to the Marvel stable. Good job, me. Well, no, it doesn't work that way. And the fact that we had the big crossover where you had the future X-Men and future Brotherhood from the future, good God, come back and try to send these X-Men back in time it's like, and then eventually, like, the big surprise of that crossover being, oh no, they can't go back in time. Why not? Because reasons. That's yeah, it's like that just doesn't work. I mean, okay, if you're assuming that, you can assume that that with Secret Wars, the timeline has been restructured so that the past happened that allowed all the past versions of the X Men to remain in the future and whatnot, and it's, oh god, fucking time travel paradoxes. It's if you it work. The bottom line is that his run makes more sense if you don't think about the like the logistics of why the X Men, like why the young X Men are able to remain here without completely fucking up like the time stream. I mean, it could be that eventually they'll be sent back, but let's just say I'm holding out hope that eventually it'll be revealed that they were cloned from the original X Men, and that they were sent forward in time, and that things will be preserved that way. Okay, but it's like there were good things in here. It's like the parts with the characters meeting with themselves and conversing with each other. Like things like Angel hooking up with X-23, and even that bit from the Black Vortex crossover, which I didn't even bother with, aside from the parts that were forced on me by buying Guardians of the Galaxy and All New X-Men, when he says that he accepted the power that this plot device offered, because like he saw what happened to him, and realized, hey, I need to do something different to make sure I didn't wind up like that. That's pretty relatable. It's like, and also there's these the fun superhero thrills of how of standard of well, actually it's like superhero stories like One Down, where the team has to face off against a home invasion from the future X-Men, and also, and it's like, and like when Bendis is doing the traditional superhero story, when he's in traditional superhero story mode, he's doing all right. I mean, no, he's not reinventing the rule book here, but at least he shows himself to be perfectly capable of offering up, stand entertaining takes on familiar ideas. So that's been good, and his dialogue's like always been something I've liked. But just the idea with his run on all new, and also, oh god, I have to talk about Jean Grey. With Jean Grey, it's like, one thing I noticed when I reread his entire run is that, her decision to just use her telepathy to read people's minds, change their minds. That's really disconcerting, and I don't know if and the problem is, I don't know if he was actually playing it that to be that way. I mean, like when she changes Angel's mind early on to not go along with the team's decision to when he wants to go back to their original timeline, and she changes his mind to not do that. That's kind of big fucking warning flag right there. Okay, and then you've got other instances. Like the biggest one that I mentioned was her basically her decision to basically out Bobby because she felt it was in his best interest. I mean, okay, I'm cool with having a gay Iceman. Hey, see what I did there? But but just the fact of the way she did it, I mean, it's like, it's grade A super villainy right there. I mean, I stand by my statement, my review, that if or rather when she goes full on Dark Phoenix in a couple of years, and she just tells Bobby, hey, you know what? That moment when I told you were gay, I was just fucking with you, because like, hey, I thought it'd be hilarious. So yeah, that's the kind of thing that it plays best as. I mean, that's not going to happen because Marvel would get raked over the fucking coals for going back on something like that. But it's bad. It's bad work right there, and I hope that with that Jeff Lemire, at least he's writing her in the pages of Extraordinary X-Men now, that he at least find some way to address that, like in his run. But yeah, like I said, there decent, like I said, decent moments in All New X-Men, but ultimately it's just kind of like, it's a story that should have been a closed loop, but is not, because, well, because the writers thought, hey, it wouldn't be as good. He wanted it that way. It does have great art from the likes of Stuart Immonen, who can do no wrong, and also guest artists like David Marquez, Brandon Peterson, and Sarah Pichelli, and subsequent regular artist Mahmoud Asrar. So it's like the fantastic art does forgive a lot of sins. At least it's really really pretty, but it's like overall it's like I don't know. It's like for all new, it's like I said, it's my opinion on both of his X-Men titles is basically the same here. And with Uncanny, I mean that this is Scott's team, and it's like I say, it's the focus of this is that well, as we find out later on, that Summers has basically been suffering through an ongoing mental breakdown after killing Charles Xavier and then just going off the reservation to declare a revolution. Now he's managed to drag along Emma Frost and Magneto. It's like for his because Emma believed in him what he was doing at the time. Magneto is basically trying I'm bitter at Cyclops for breaking his powers through exposure to the Phoenix, which is another plot thread that why? I mean, why? It's like there's enough drama here with Cyclops dealing with a potential mental breakdown, alienating all of his friends and former comrades, being an enemy of the potential enemy of the Avengers, and training a whole new team of X-Men in the Weapon X former Weapon X grounds. But hey, we've also had to deal with broken mutant powers between him, Emma Frost, and Magneto, and also magic to a certain extent. No, and a lot of the stuff is just going to hand waved away by the end of the run. But it's like, why even bother with this? I mean, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's more drama, but he had plenty of fucking drama to work with in the first place. Anyway, I will give Bendis this. He does create an engaging new group of mutants for us to follow. I mean, it's like his work on the Separate Cuckoos it's like engagingly bitchy. It's like the new characters time traveler, time bubbler, Tempest. It's like he's interesting. It's like and Gold Balls, who's just kind of meant to be kind of like a joke character because all he can do is project balls of solid gold and that are only temporary. But it's like he's just so goofy that and just completely buys into his new nickname that you just can't help but love him. And I'm looking forward to reading more about him because apparently Bendis has dragged him into the pages of Miles Morales' adjectiveless Spider-Man title. So I'm looking forward to that. And and there's Hijack, who is the kind of has mutant powers that are probably too powerful for any one mutant to have. So he can hijack any kind of it's like any kind of electronic device. So he'll probably be toned down in future stories if he's even brought back at all. So we'll see about that. But Uncanny is kind of all about Cyclops dealing with the mutant revolution, and there's like I said, there's some good stuff in here, such as like these like the one shot story where we found out that quasi chameleon Benjamin Deeds has he's not really like a shapeshifter per se. He's someone who can manipulate people by making them feel better about themselves. It's like by adapting them in their own ways. Things like that's interesting. Things like the Girls' Night Out that unfortunately ties into the whole it's like Emergence of New Inhumans arc is at least interesting for its first half. The versus Shield arc has a nice actually plays off the new Sentinels being deployed to hunt X-Men, and the reasons behind that actually play out quite well. It's like another example of Bendis following the standard superhero playbook quite well. But then you've got the whole Omega Mutant arc, 9 goddamn issues of it, and then him basically Cyclops and the rest of this renegade crew being summoned for a reading of Charles Xavier's will, and I'm finding out that hey, he's married to Mystique. Why? Why? God damn it! I mean, Bendis' use of Mystique in both series is just kind of like does nothing to endear me any further to character. I mean, just further cements her as as just like an unredeemable villain. I mean, to be honest, I liked Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique in the last several X-Men movies because yeah, it's like she's yeah, it's like she's not really a good guy, but she's got her own ideas about how things should be run. Like, and they're not entirely bad ideas either. But with Mystique in both of these titles, I mean, it's like it's one of those scenes like just kill her already, then bring her back with a clearer focus on being an anti-hero. So there, but the Omega Mutant arc is just like 9 issues of that. It's a story arc that took 9 issues to tell, but didn't need that long as well. And it's as Cyclops finds out, Cyclops and the other X Men find out that Charles Xavier apparently encountered a mutant that had godlike abilities, and that he just basically created mental blocks to strip him of his powers. And it's like now that he's dead, he is unable to reinforce these blocks, and whoops, bad shit happens to the point where the cosmic reset button needs to be whacked, thanks to Tempest at the end of things. And it's like I said, it's the yeah, and this is where we find out that Cyclops had a mental breakdown, that he's just been winging it all this time, and no. No, if you're going to show someone that has had a mental breakdown, you need to give us clearer definitions. Just to show us moments where it's like he's like completely off of his rocker. But no, it's like Bendis just completely fails in this regard and undermines his entire run. I mentioned in my review of the Omega Mutant that Cy Spurrier did this a lot better without having to resort to the mental breakdown card in it's like in his X-Force run, where Cable had resorting to increasingly dubious means to keep his team in line. It's like in line, in on message, and whoops, it kind of blew up in his face. But so there you go. And now what I've been waiting for in order to do this this podcast is the final volume of Bendis' run, Storyville Volume 6, which I went. It was being on sale for cheap enough through Amazon, but I'm going to give a very bad review to the people who sent it to me because the fucking spine on this volume was split. So yeah, thanks guys. I have to find some way to creatively apply glue to make this look so presentable on my bookshelf now. Anyway, Storyville basically starts off with Scott having a reunion with his brother Alex after he's decamped from Uncanny Avengers, before he went full evil in the aftermath of the Axis crossover, and it's dual nonlinear storytelling as we see Scott talking, reconnecting with Alex, but also completely falling apart with his team as he sends the newcomers off to the new Jean Grey school for training, and we find out just what his mutant revolution was all about. And you know what? This was actually pretty good. The still issue basically has Cyclops admitting that the mutant revolution was nothing more than a threat, because after everything they've done over the years, to foster a mutant-human peace relations, the only thing they had left was threats. But it's like and Bendis also has some good stuff with Cyclops and Emma Frost as they have their final falling out, and it's kind of heartbreaking because it's like you hope that Cyclops would realize what he's doing here, but he just can't because he's just so completely set in his ways, and it's bad. But so in the end, yeah, he's left with Alex. He's got one last card to play, and then we find out about that at the in issue 600. But then we get a couple issues where we get Kitty Pryde and Magic rescuing a new mutant in the Savage Land, which is fun. It's like, so I like the whole the whole girl-mance between them. It's like they have good fun chemistry together. You've also got Dazzler demanding And in the subsequent issue, Dazzler, I'm helping to track down Mystique and exact some vengeance for after she was replaced by the shapeshifter early on in Bendis's run, and that's a fun bit too here because it shows up some well deserved comeuppance for Mystique after all of her stuff here, all the shit she's pulled here too, and it's like I admit that Bendis's punk reimagining of Dazzler is kind of growing on me too. Then you've got all the new characters Bendis created going off on their own to try and be their own superhero team, and Goldball's becoming the it superhero of the moment before it's realized that, oh wait, he's a mutant, and so the general public has to hate him now. So it was fun for a little while, but then like the whole shift towards mutant hatred kind of brings it down, and it feels somewhat unnecessary too. Then you've got the final issue, 600, which basically is kind of the part of it is the trial of Henry McCoy, which I don't know, that part just doesn't work for me because yeah, McCoy brought the young X-Men to the future, and and that's it. Okay, yeah, he had the best of intentions, and things may have gone not worked out the way he wanted to, but hey, the timeline is still intact here, so the whole intervention aspect kind of falls flat. But we also get other moments like with Bendis, well, having Colossus and Magic make nice with each other, which feels kind of forced after they parted bitterly in the final issue of Kieran Gillen's run. Then there's also adult Iceman realizing that coming out as well and realizing that he's gay too, and just it's like it's like, hey, like more complex stories like this with the character, and I'm all for that. And also Jean and young Beast they're theoretically coming together as a couple, but not really because she's not in the story. They're not together in current X-Men titles. And then you got the bit where they all get together as part of a mutant gathering like in DC, and yeah, it's just them getting together, but it's not really like them doing anything, and some people will be annoyed by that. But at the same time, like the point is that all the mutants coming together, and war didn't break out between them. So it's kind of a nice statement of peace that I actually kind of liked, and then you get the final 2 pages with maybe this is with Tempest confronting Beast about maybe this is his trial, maybe it isn't. Who knows? And Beast basically kind of decamping from the X-Men for the Inhuman titles as well. So that's the final volume, and much like the rest of this run, some good points, some bad stuff, but just kind of like kind of really fizzly follow through here. I mean, I don't know why didn't Bendis work as well on this compared to like his Avengers run. I don't know. Maybe because like the Avengers wasn't really all that exciting before he took his decompressed dialogue centric approach to it, and but X-Men had plenty of drama over the years. Was like kind of thrived on continuity, and Bendis kind of like got away from all that. Now it's like in the end now we're left with well, I don't want to say left with, but I liked Jeff Lemire's first volume, Extraordinary. It doesn't it doesn't rewrite the rule book, but it does offer the warm, familiar, comforting hug of like X-Men stuff done right, if not particularly new. And I've still got the Dennis Hopeless's all new X-Men to look at, as well as Cullen Bunn's Uncanny X-Men, which is basically kind of like X-Force led by Magneto. Which, hey, I'm on board for that. To check out as well. But I don't know. It's like you can buy Bendis's X-Men work in like big thick volumes, like basically like 12 issue runs, or two volumes in one runs, one collections, hardcovers like that. But I don't know. Should you? Well, if you're as dyed in the wool X-Men fan as me, then yes, you are probably going to want to read this stuff because I'm sure they're going to enough stuff happens here that they're going to like be referring back to it for years. But I don't know. It's like but I have a feeling that the subsequent writers probably make this stuff seem a lot more interesting in retrospect than it does in the now. So there you go. That's my thoughts. John, any thoughts on your end about all this?
I have one question.
Yes.
What is all new and all different about it?
Okay. Well, all new X-Men is kind of a it's kind of like a terrible joke in the sense that they all new is just hey, it's like the old X-Men transported into a new era, which basically makes them kind of like all new to this era. Jazz hands.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, all new, all different is basically Marvel's catch-all nomenclature for the stuff that's going on right now.
Right, yes. So, just an interesting, way of describing it, as all new and all new, all different, X-Men, or
Yeah,
all new, all different, whatever. Fill in the
yeah.
blank.
They kind of exhausted their it's like their credit with using the new adjective a while back. So now it's like all new. It's now all new, all different.
Maybe they could create a new word. Oh, and they could for new. I'm just kidding. Um,
Well, John, all I say, don't give them ideas.
Otherwise, we'll be reading a new definition in Webster's.
Mm.
Okay, so you know what you're going to be talking about next time.
Next time in the meantime, I got a fuck ton of stuff that I need to catch up on reading because I was busy rereading all of Bendis' stuff. So I may just so I'm calling a mulligan, and I'm finally going to get around to doing my podcast on Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips' The Fade Out that I should have done back in February.
All right. Well, sounds exciting, and I guess we'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Glick.
That's right.
All right. Bye.
Laters.